Okay, we're picking up where we left off on page 128. And let's see, what's wrong? Why aren't we working?
Why are you
Are
bold?
you serious now that I'm not gonna work?
The board doesn't want us to work.
Oh.
Why is she biting the plastic bag?
Boys and girls, please don't talk. So worked across the hall, but it's not working here.
Day after day, Isatu watches neighbors tote their things in bright blue or black plastic bags. Children slurp water and wanjo from tiny holes poked in clear bags. Market trays fill with minties wrapped in rainbows of plastic. The colors are beautiful, she thinks. She swings her bag high. The handle breaks. One paper escapes, then 2, then 10. Isatu shakes sand off her papers. Another plastic bag floats by, and she tucks her things inside. The torn bag is useless now. She drops it to the dirt, as everyone does. There's nowhere else to put it.
Okay, so how does the author describe what happens when Isatu's plastic bag breaks? What does she say? Olive?
The handle breaks, one paper escapes, then 2, then 10.
Yes. So where else does the author use words like this? Where else did she use words like this? Avery?
It says, market tray filled with
Not there. Juliana?
on page 124, the phone basket, it says the basket tips, the beer tumbles, then 2, then 10.
Yes, it's exactly where. That's good. So, why does the author describe things this way? Why do you think the author describes things this way? Kelsey?
To tell you that more plastic comes quickly and it breaks them out quickly.
Okay. Juliana?
How many papers come out?
How many papers come out? Avery?
So it goes 1 by 2 and if all the papers just keep falling out.
Yes. Teddy?
It's in sequential order.
Oh, it's in sequential order. Yes, yes, definitely. To show, you guys are right, to show how problems start as something small, but they quickly get bigger because it's getting bigger and bigger. Good job. Okay, so let's go to the next page.
Day after day, the bag she dropped is still there. One plastic bag becomes 2, then 10, then 100. Plastic isn't beautiful anymore, she thinks. Her feet step down a cleaner path, and the thought floats away. Years pass, and Isatu grows into a woman. She barely notices the ugliness growing around her, until the ugliness finds its way to her.
So why does Isatu think that plastic isn't beautiful anymore? Why does she think that? Libby?
Because there's so much of it.
Because there's so much of it. Yes, it's piling up. Very good. Next page.
Isatu hears a goat crying and hurries towards grandmother's house. Why is it tied up? Where are the other goats? Inside, the butcher is speaking in a low voice. Many goats have been eating these, he says. The bags twist around their insides, and the animals cannot survive. Now 3 of your goats and so many other goats in the village have died. Grandmother Mbambe's powerful shoulders sag. Isatu must be strong and do something. But what?
Okay, so now Isatu is having kind of an aha moment here. What do you think? She's starting to realize what? Anastasia?
That plastic bags are bad and you can use them because animals can get hurt or die.
Yes. Plastic bags are bad and animals can get hurt and die from the plastic bags.
Isatu's feet lead her to the old, ugly road. A pile of garbage stands as wide as grandmother's cooking hut. Mosquitoes swarm near dirty pools of water alongside the pile. Smoke from burning plastic stings her nose. Her feet back away. Goats scamper past. They forage through the trash for food. Her feet stop. She knows too much to ignore it now. Holding her breath, she plucks one plastic bag from the pile. Then 2, then 10, then 100.
Okay, so
Forage. When animals forage, they search through an area to find food.
what pattern of words is familiar to what you have already read? What pattern of words? Logan?
It says then 2, then 10, then 100.
Yeah, so that's a pattern. So why do you think the author is repeating that pattern? Anastasia?
To describe how much trash and fruit and papers and plastic bags there are.
Yeah, and how it keeps growing quickly, right, boys and girls? It keeps growing quickly. Next pages, please. Next page.
Isatu's feet lead her to the old, ugly road. A pile of garbage stands as wide as grandmother's cooking hut.
Oh, we already read
Mosquitoes
that page,
swarm
sorry.
near dirty pools of water alongside the pile. What can we do? Isatu asks her friends. Let's wash them, says Fatim, pulling out Omo soap. Maram grabs a bucket, and Insha fetches water from the well. Peggy finds clothespins, and they clip the washed bags on the line.
So how does Isatu and her friends solve a problem here? What do they do? Libby?
They clean the plastic bags.
They clean the plastic bags. And how do they work together? Jensen, what do they do to work together?
One straps the plastic bags while the other is pulling up soap. And people are washing the bags.
Yes, and what does the illustration show you about how the women feel that is not written in the text? What does the illustration show that's not written in the text? Mikey?
The illustration shows
Look at the women's faces. How do they look?
they look happy.
Yeah, they look happy. The women are happy. They're happy to be doing it.
As the bags dry, Isatu watches her sister crochet. Can you teach me? Wow, yes. Her sister shows Isatu the stitches, then hands her a metal tool. Isatu's fingers busy themselves. In, out, around. Jarajek, thank you.
Oh, Isatu is very interested in learning how to crochet. Don't turn the pages, boys and girls. What do you predict she wants to crochet? What do you think she's going to crochet? What do you think she's going to crochet? Logan?
Bags.
Bags? What do you think she's going to crochet?
A bag.
A bag, Clark?
Basket.
Baskets? Anastasia?
New bags like plastic bags.
New plastic bags? Juliana?
Purses.
Purses? Ivy?
New bags that don't ruin the environment.
New bags that don't ruin the environment. Well, let's find out.
Issa finds a broomstick and carves her own tool from its wood. What's that for? Fatima asks. Issa pauses. She and Peggy have an idea. But will their friends think it's crazy? Will the idea even work? Nervously, she explains the plan.
Now, how does Issa feel about her plan? What?
I'm a little nervous that I'm going to think it's crazy.
Yeah, she's a little nervous and unsure about it. And what word in the paragraph 43 gives you a clue? What's the clue word in paragraph 43? Yanni? That she's unsure of if her plan's going to work. What's the clue word?
Nervously.
Nervously, yes.
I'm a little scared it might not.
Nervously, thank you. She's not sure. Okay, so let's go to our next page.
One friend agrees to help. Then 2. Then 5. The women cut bags into strips and roll them into spools of plastic thread. Before long, they teach themselves how to crochet with this thread. Nakaligibi? Asks grandmother. How is the work? Ndanka, ndanka, answers Isatu. Slow. Some people in the village laugh at us. Others call us dirty. But I believe what we are doing is good. The women crochet by candlelight, away from those who mock them, until a morning comes when they will no longer work in secret. Fingers sore and blistered, Isatu hauls the recycled purses to the city. One person laughs at her, then 2, then 10, then recycled. When something is described as recycled, it has been used again or used in a different way.
Okay, so what have Issa and her friends made by crocheting plastic bags? Ethan, what did they make? Look on the table.
We made like bags, like pocket bags,
Bags or
purses.
purses. Yeah, they made purses. And so why do you think people are laughing? Why do you think people are laughing? Ivy?
Because they probably think that it won't work.
Yeah, it won't work. What do you think, Avery?
I think that they think, I feel like that the people that are laughing think that the plastic is better. And that's why they don't, like, they think it's funny that they made this instead of the plastic.
Okay, Juliana?
Because maybe the people who found the plastic is like, we want this, we don't care who made this. I think our plastic's better.
Okay. What do you think, Anastasia?
It's a bad idea. They think it's a bad idea, so they're laughing about it.
Okay, Olive, what do you think?
This is a bad idea because it's probably it's probably easier to just get a plastic bag. Uh-oh, it breaks. Throw it on the ground and get a new one.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they just think it's like a really weird, strange idea, right?
One woman lays the lassi coins on the table. She chooses a purse and shows it to one friend. Then 2, then 10. Soon everyone wants one.
Oh, so what does this tell you about how people are reacting to the plastic bag purses? Kelsey?
That they like them now, they can see what they really are.
Yeah, people are really liking them. So how is this like the patterns you read earlier? How is this like the patterns you read earlier? Who haven't I heard from? Who haven't I heard from very much? Who'd like to tell us how this is like the patterns? Eddie?
It doesn't say 100, but it still goes in like a pattern.
Yeah, the pattern working?
It's going in sequential order.
Yes, and it starts how? It gets what?
It starts low and then it gets bigger.
Yeah, it starts small and then it keeps growing. Very good.
Isa too fills her own purse with Delassie. She zips it shut and rides home to tell grandmother she has made enough to buy a new goat. When she passes by the pile of rubbish, she smiles because it is smaller now. She tells herself, one day it will be gone and my home will be beautiful. And one day,
Okay, so boys and girls, Isa too has an aha moment here. She realizes that she had this idea, that it worked, and that she will be able to, that her plastic bag idea has worked, that people will give money for them, and that purses will help get rid of the rubbish in her country, in her neighborhood. So boys and girls, let's look at the next page.
Plastic bags. Those plastic bags.
it was.
So who's that child in the picture? Who's that child? Thomas,
Her child.
her child, Isa too's child. And how do you know that?
Well, he's walking with Ethan's tree.
Okay. How else do we
And they're
know?
holding hands.
Olive?
You know, because earlier the first son was a baby.
Yes, she had a baby earlier. So now it is. So what difference can you make from this story detail? Yes, Anastasia?
It said it was, so, that I can infer that their city was beautiful, their home was beautiful because there were no plastic bags anymore.
Okay. So let's read author's notes.
Author's note. I first traveled to the Gambia, West Africa in 2003 as a volunteer teacher. I had an amazing experience, but something threatened to ruin my memory of it all. The heaps of garbage piled everywhere. The problem seemed too big to fix. Then a friend told me that in a rural village, a woman named Isatou Cisse was doing something about it. My friend showed me a beautiful purse made from recycled plastic bags. And I vowed to meet Isatou. During my third stay in the Gambia in 2007, I finally connected with Isatou and visited her home in Njau. There, I interviewed many women and girls, including the original Gambian women who had begun the recycling project with Isatou a decade earlier. They shared past stories of dead livestock, strangled gardens, and malaria outbreaks linked to the trash. But they also shared new stories of healthier families, better income, and increased self-confidence. Although I wasn't able to include all the details about the women and their project in this book, I believe the story I've shaped captures their spirit and inspirational accomplishments. Today, Njau is much cleaner, the goats are healthier, and the gardens grow better. Residents from nearby towns travel there to learn the craft of recycling. People from around the world continue to purchase the recycled plastic purses, and the women contribute some of their earnings toward an empowerment center, where community members enjoy free health and literacy classes, as well as learn about the dangers of burning plastic trash. In 2012, that center also became the home for the region's first public library. By the time you read this book, I hope that a copy of One Plastic Bag is shelved there, and that it will be checked out once, then twice, then 100 times.
Okay, so boys and girls, where does Isatou live? Where does Isatou live? Elisa, where does Isatou live? Ethan, where does Isatu live?
In Africa?
In where? Somebody tell them where she lives. Yanni? Gambia? Gambia, West Africa. Everybody say Gambia, West Africa.
Gambia, West Africa.
So look at the two maps at the top. How do the two maps connect to the text? How do the two maps connect to the text? Olive?
The two maps connect the text. Oh. Gambia is in Africa.
Yeah, so what's the little map?
The little map.
Everybody put your finger on the little map at the top of your page. What does this little map show?
The little map shows just Gambia.
Gambia. And what's the big map show?
The big map shows Africa.
And it shows you where what is.
It shows you where Gambia is in Africa.
Yes, it shows you where in West Africa it is. Because boys and girls, everybody look, this is north, south, east, and west. So it shows you where exactly Gambia is. Oh, I have to ask you this. This part of the selection, is it in, what point of view is this part of the selection in? What point of view is this? Yes?
First point of
This
view.
is first person, because this is written by the author's own personal visit. She's talking about when she went there. The rest of the story is not written in first person. Now, what does the author's note tell you about? What does the author's note tell you about? Jensen?
The authors don't tell you in the story that she traveled to Gambia, like in the actual story. And they did not tell us the years this happened.
What does it tell you? I don't want to know what it doesn't tell you. What does it
It
tell
tells
you?
you how they made the plastic bags, what was the problem, what was the solution.
Does it tell you how she heard about Isatu?
Oh yes.
It tells you how she heard to Isatu.
Page.
So that's what it tells you. Well, boys and girls, you want to hear something interesting?
Yes.
I know a lady, and she's in a group, and they use plastic bags to crochet mats for homeless people. So they put their like sleeping bags and stuff on the mats to keep them dry. You know, because homeless people sleep outside. And so they make these mats made from plastic bags. So they also use plastic bags. So that is so interesting. So here's, yes.
In the little map, it says Gambia, and then on the side, and it shows like a white dot, and it says Gambia.
Oh, that's the town they're in. Yeah, so it's got the actual city or town that they live in. So you can see where it is. It's so small that it's hard to see. But yes, there it is. It's the town that they're in. So you get to see that. So you can see how, where exactly in Gambia that they live. Very nice. So tonight you're going to read the story and you have to read the author's note as well.